Hello there, and welcome to Thanks for Listening podcast. My name is Nikki Nicole, and I want to first off thank you for tuning in. With how busy everyone is on a regular basis, 24 hours a day, and you took the time to check in with me, I just love you for it. Thank you so much. And I just want to let you know a little bit about myself as we get into it. I am a mom of four. I graduated college. I was a business owner, and I am so excited to be here finally doing my first official episode of Thanks for Listening podcast. It has been in the works. I've been preparing and just making notes and doing research and trying everything to line it up so that I can put it out there. And it can be overwhelming. If you didn't know, starting something new that you've never done before just can give you like kind of the butterflies, the anxiety butterflies. And you know what I mean. I have my book here, my production book. Literally cost me 10 cents. Can you believe that? And the information on the inside is valued at so much more. I'm just a regular person, okay? Anything I tell you that, like any of the tips I give you on how to cope with, regular daily struggles and to improve your mental health as well as your physical health, all of that is just based off of experience and what I'm learning on my journey. And I just want to learn and grow and share. I've noticed, like, as I'm learning, I'm sharing, and it's giving me so much value, and I love it. Like, it fills my heart to teach people things that they need or that can help their life be better. Like when they come back and they tell me, thank you so much for what you said, because I used to hear, or I heard your voice when I was, going to do this, and I heard you telling me, be kind, or whatever the case may be. I love that. So thank you. Thank you. You know who you are the ones that I've helped. And for a while, really, I'm 36 years old. Let me not forget that. I'm 36 years old. And with having four kids, oldest being 17, youngest being 1, I've definitely gone through kind of the search for a purpose. What am I other than a mother, right? 4 kids. I'm 36. Do the math. I got pregnant when I was 19. Okay. I'm not married, so, I'm a single mother. No, 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 no single mother. Okay. Cut that out. With my oldest being 17 and my youngest being 1, it was hard to decipher, who am I besides being a mother? Who am I besides being a daughter? Who am I besides being a friend, a coworker, a sister, aunt? All those things that people expect you to show up as. But are you showing up for yourself? Right? And I realized that maybe about a year and a half after having my son. And I was like, I need to start somewhere. I need to start to try and figure this out. I need to find my purpose. Is my purpose just to be a mother? No, I don't believe that. There's something more out there. And this is not just for parents. This podcast is not just for parents. Yes, this is my experience as a mother. However, I know that there are people out there who have not had children, who are just aunts and uncles, or have pet babies and things like that, or they're just responsible for themselves or helping with elderly parents. Life is lifing. And with everything going on, to have someone to be there for you, to help you, and to give you pointers on how to deal and how to cope with this crazy world that we live in. I love it. I love it. And I just want to let you know, just this past podcast, like I went through so many different names of what I was going to call it. And then I realized, oh my gosh, thanks for listening. I started at the end of my practice videos that I was doing, I started saying, thanks for listening. And I was like, oh my gosh, that's it. That's it. Because that's what it's all about. If you're actively listening, I have no choice but to give you gratitude. So thank you, thank you, thank you. I cannot say it enough. And I just want to say I started this podcast because my goal was to connect with people all over the world. I've definitely tried the content creator. I've tried the gym niche. I've tried the cooking niche. I've tried the duetting and doing the voiceover niche. I've done the breastfeeding journey. I've done all these niches, and I really haven't been able to stay consistent, and I let the likes and the comments and the shares and things and my progress, I let it affect me and kind of derail me from it. Like I took a step back and I was like, it's too much. I'm not even sure if this is what I want. So I had to take that time to focus on myself, to realize it. And this past year, I've been on the journey to find my self purpose for this past year. And it just became a year last month, August. So I'm still learning. So just give me time and learn with me, because that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to connect with people all over the world to help them with what's helped me get to this point, to where I feel confident enough to step in front of the camera and talk and put myself out there, because that's one of the things I struggled with the most, is putting myself out there. But as you see, people are doing it all over the world, and they're not only putting their thoughts out there, they're putting their families out there, they're putting their finances out there, they're putting their jobs out there, like literally so much of them. And it's showing results based on how hard you work at it. And I was like, well, I think it's time for me to stop doubting so much and just do it. And I want to build a community of different people all around the world that want similar things. They want to have a better mental health state. They want to be closer to their friends and family, make better connections with people, and, just elevate their lives to what they want to do. And if I could help just one person do that, I'll be happy. And honestly, off camera, I have. So it's like, okay, and it's been during this process. Like I haven't always done that, but I've always been able to give decent enough advice to help others, and them verbally tell me what you said helped me. And that's huge. And you can't take that kind of stuff for granted. And the more and more I would hear it, the more it was calling to me to get back out there and do this. And I really want to just have the conversations. I want to have the conversations. And that's what this YouTube and TikTok and Facebook and all these social media sites, all these things, for us to connect all over the world more than you have been at any time. Grown up, like I said, I'm 36 years old. I've never seen it this large, to be able to connect with people literally all over the world. And I absolutely love it. So for today's episode, the very first episode, thank you again for being here. I want to talk about exactly what we're doing here. Have you tried something new lately? Because this is new for me. This is new for me. Have you tried something new? Because when I tell you, the feeling of procrastination and just putting in and putting in and putting in, I had to really step out of my comfort zone. Like, I'm good at talking in front of the camera, but putting it out there for others to see, that is not something that I've always been ready to do. Like in person, in real time, I could talk to anybody. I've waitressed for years, so I have that kind of rapport where I could just walk up to a table and, you know. But it's harder when you're sitting in front of the camera and you have no one else. There's no one else here. You're just talking to the camera. And it's not something, I've always done it, but like I said, it's just at this caliber of trying to help people. It's something new. And I know that you felt it when you're trying to do something new, whether it is change a career, whether it is launch a podcast, be a content creator, become a fitness trainer, change careers, you know, end something so that you can start something new. All of this creates those butterflies I was talking about. And it always seems like there is a bit of self-doubt in your back of your mind of what if, right? And I know that's happened to you. And so like today, I want to talk about why we feel that way. Why do we feel anxious about starting something new? Why are we so scared of starting something new? And I have 3 ways that I can teach you that helped me get over that hump, to get into it, start something new, because come on, tomorrow is not promised. So let's get right into it. The first thing now I did research and I went online and I looked at, I got basically narrowed it down to 3 things. 3 reasons why people feel nervous, anxious, scared of starting something new. The first one you might already guess. That's right. It's the fear of what people will say and think, right? Aren't we all concerned about that? That's literally what social media is putting out there. YouTube, everything, the comments. Oh my gosh, the comments. They're so funny. And it's like, they're funny to me because, you know, it is what you make it, right? But some people really get hurt and they really get nervous and they really overthink about these comments, even if it hasn't even happened yet. And that's just social media alone. Imagine in real life, and your family, your friends, your loved ones, your coworkers, they have opinions. Everybody has an opinion. They're gonna say something whether you're doing it or not. Okay, so when you're sitting there and you're thinking, okay, I want to start something new, immediately you say, well, what will, Susie think if she finds out that I'm going to quit and we started this together and now I want to do something new. I want to venture out. Well, how will she feel? And that's heavy and it's valid. You're valid for feeling this way and you're not alone. This is a lot of people. We're so relatable. And if you didn't know, go on social media, go on YouTube, go listen to these people. You'll hear what they're talking about and probably relate to it in some way, even if just the littlest way. So with that, you fear what they're going to think. And, one of the things that come with it, you fear, will they stop talking to me? I've been friends with this person for such and such amount of years and I want to do something new. Will they accept it? Will they still talk to me after? Will they be mad at me afterwards? I don't want to taint our relationship. I thought we would be friends forever. And it's almost like if you let those thoughts consume you too much, you're giving someone else control of what your next move is. And I don't like how that feels. I don't want to give the control of my life to someone else because that's not, I personally have not done it. I don't know. Like I said, I'm learning. I'm not sure if I've done it in the past. If I've given that control to someone. Honestly, I probably have, to think about it. Like I said, I'm new to this journey, so I could have given that power to someone else. And now, as I research into self-improvement books and podcasts and things like that, and my algorithm is all based on, positivity, motivation, affirmation, inspiration, like all the shunts. And since it's all about that, it's what's in going in my brain. So I'm learning, I'm reflecting on my past to help me get to my future. So that right there is the first thing that I know has affected me. It has. And now, oh my gosh, I'm thinking about it. I'm thinking about it. Definitely stalled out on making a decision for myself because I was worried about what others thought. Absolutely. See? And that's the beauty of talking it out. You actually get to hear yourself. Your subconscious is hearing you, and it's like, okay, let me feed you a memory of when you did that, because you definitely did that. Stop lying to these people. You did that. So yes, I did do it, but I'm working on not doing it anymore. So I'm learning on ways to help with that. But the second reason that people, even myself, would stray away from doing something new is the fear of the unknown. Ooh, you know it. You knew it. You knew it, didn't you? You knew it, right? The fear of the unknown. When I tell you that thing could be dark, scary, just almost so dark, you can't even see it. I've talked to people who said they can't see their future at all. I've talked to people who said they could only see to a certain point of their future. I've talked to people who are like, I don't want to think that far. YOLO, I live in the present, And that's cool. Like, to each his own. But if you're here and you're watching, it's probably because you want a change. You want something new. And you don't want to procrastinate no more. So with the fear of the unknown, a lot of the questions that go through your head: will I live with guilt? Guilt for making this choice and the sacrifices that I had to make to get there. Will I feel guilty for the people that I've left behind? Will I feel guilty for, the person who I was, right? But if you're looking for a change, it's for a reason. You're not happy with maybe your environment. You're not happy with, who you are, how you act, and you're looking for a change. So with that, the fear of the unknown is actually, I saw this quote. It's on goodreads.com, and it says, a mind that fears the unknown builds walls. A mind that embraces it builds bridges. I know you heard that. The microphone's So I know you heard that. A mind that fears the unknown builds walls. A mind that embraces it builds bridges. I want to build bridges. I don't know about you, but I want to build bridges. Like I said, connection. I want to get elevated. Okay, can we build bridges and staircases and things to elevate us, right? As a community. So my bridge is going to be nice and big so that we can walk together and figure out how to kill this procrastination and get these things done. Okay? So there is... Okay. So there was another one. I was like, I could not leave it out. And because it all pertains to the fear of the unknown. And it was on medium.com. And it says, we do not fear the unknown. We fear giving up the known. Drop the mic. I'm kidding. I would never drop my microphone. That thing is expensive. But snap your fingers. Because when I saw that, I was like, exactly. Because what happens is we get into the routine of things, right? Where we're dropping the kids off at school, we're going to work, we're picking them up, we're doing dinner, we're spending time together, we have a movie night, we have a date night, everything is known, right? We have a career where we have everything listed out, and I go to work, I come home, I exercise, I do dinner, and then I sit down with my dog and I watch a movie or I read a book. These are things that we're comfortable in, right? What about the uncomfortable, right? It's like I go home, my parents are arguing, I go in my room, I shut the door, I put my music on. Right? There's the fear of the unknown. I can't stand going to work. Every time I get ready to go to work, I'm in such a bad mood. I can't seem to shake this feeling of why am I here? But it's the routine, right? Then you start to tell yourself, but at least I got a job, right? Is because you want to be optimistic, you want to find the joy in things, right? At least I got a job, at least I'm comfortable at this job, people know me, they know my work ethic, and I know that I'm going to get a steady paycheck. And then you say, well, what about that job I've dreamed of doing since I was younger? And then you start to think, oh well, what if it doesn't work out? What if they don't want to hire me? What if I go in there and I don't make any connections with people, and I'm kind of like a shut-in? What's happening?
He's ready to take a nap.
Oh
but
my
then
gosh,
it
I'm
might
trying
not.
to do the thing.
He's
Oh
tired.
my gosh.
I don't know how much longer.
It's gonna be like 15 more minutes.
He look like a zombie.
No, go back down.
Yeah, I can wait 15.
Come on, give me 15 more minutes. I'm running through it. I'm on the last thing here. I gotta edit the thing. I'm gonna have to edit this out real good. Here. Give me 15 more minutes. I'll be back. His passy's in the diaper bag. Or is it right there? You got one right there. All right, 15 more minutes. See? You see? I just had to cut because I am doing this episode from home, and my son was looking for me, my 1-year-old. So let's wrap this up. Let's come on. So the fear of the unknown of that new career, is it going to be worth it? Am I going to be able to get promoted to higher, climb the ladder? Am I able to climb the ladder? It's just all this fear, right? And how are you ever going to know if you don't try, right? So the last one, I know you've been waiting. And I don't know if you would guess this last one, right? This last one is fear of making the wrong choice. I feel like we deal with that on the regular basis. It's like when you go out to a restaurant and you're looking at all these options because these menus open up like maps, and it's like, ooh, what am I in the mood for, right? And you're like, ooh, I've been craving this quesadilla thing, and it's like, ooh, yummy, yummy, yummy. And then you order it, right? And then your friend orders like this, let's say the fajitas, and then it comes and it's all sizzling and good, and you're like, I thought I wanted the quesadilla, but dang, I should have got the fajitas. Those look good. And it's that right there is the simplest one right there. Fear of a bad decision. You were scared, right? So sometimes, even myself, I sit there, and when I went through that particular situation, I was like, I learned, I was like, you know what? Let me ask what they're ordering first so that I can base my decision off of what they're ordering. And it's like, don't do that. Don't do that. Matter of fact, they got hit to me doing that, and they was like, I'm not telling you. It's like, make your own choice. You know what I mean? Stand up for what you want. You want this, then get it. Don't be looking at me at what I got. So that's just one of the things, but most of the times when you're responsible for other people and you have to make decisions that involve them and their lives and their futures and everything like that, you worry. Will they blame you? Will they blame you for making the wrong decision? Will they turn on you? Like, if it's a situation like I told you earlier with the friend, right? It's like you want to walk away from something that y'all built together, but you're not seeing eye to eye. Y'all are in two different parts, chapters of your life. So you're like, I need this for me, and the other person just doesn't understand. And while you cannot control what they're going to feel, you cannot deny your calling. If you know deep in your heart that you want to do something new, then you owe it to yourself to do it. Don't sit there and wait, because it just, you sitting there and just time is going by. You're getting older, you're not getting younger. So just do it already, right? Will the fear of making the bad choice, it's like almost like it's a huge risk. Why would I risk the comfort of my life right now just to step out and do something that I think I want to do? Right? Why would I do that? Will it be a waste of time? Will it be hard? Will it be so hard that it'll break me? I don't know. How you know? If you don't try it, if you don't take that step forward, you're not going to get there, right? Right? So, being that I'm still a work in progress, I'm still looking, like, this is my first episode, right? I've never done nothing like this before. I have things I definitely procrastinated like you wouldn't believe. I've went and I got the microphones. I had issues with the microphones. I got a first set of wireless microphone. Then I got a wired microphone that I would hold, and I was like, oh no, this ain't gonna work. And then I got another microphone that, is propped up in stands, and then I'm like, oh, I need the headphones because I can't really then I need the ring light, and then I need the phone stand, and then I need the notebook, and then I need the clothes, and then I need the outfit. It's like, it's okay to be prepared, but I'm gonna tell you something right now. It can feel overwhelming, and you just have to take a breath. Literally, I read a book, Atomic Habits by James Clear. I highly recommend you get it. But that 1% change, that 1% towards your goal is more than zero. Okay, that's just what that's just where we're going with it, right? And while I was researching for this episode and while I was filming, you have no idea how many episode ones I have right now in my storage, because I just kept looking at it, watching it, critiquing it, and saying I could do better. Okay, I need to change this. I need to do that. I don't like where I'm sitting. I don't like the lighting. I don't like the clothes. I don't like the hair. Blah, 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 blah. Because this is all in your mind. This is how it is. And I know you relate to me. I know you do. Okay? I know, because I like to talk. That's a hobby of mine. I've always loved to talk. If you know me, you know. If you know, you know. But I love to talk. So I've talked to a lot of people in my life, and I know that a lot of us are relatable in those ways, especially when it comes to procrastination. So basically, all right, the first way that helped me get through it, and with research, it shows that building self-confidence is how you start. You have to learn how to trust yourself. Okay, mind, body, and soul connection is huge. If you speak to me currently in real time, you know I say that 1,000 times. Mind, body, soul, mind, body, soul. I'm only a year into this journey. I didn't even know it was mind, body, and soul that I needed to get to know. But taking that time is how you're going to build that self-confidence. You have to take the time for yourself. Focus on what you can control, because people's opinions are always going to be there. You wouldn't believe the opinions and the things that people have said about me in my life. And it's probably going to come pouring once these podcasts episodes start airing and I start putting it on social media. People are going to be like, is that Nikki? She trying to tell somebody how to do things. When I knew Nikki, she was as I saw squaze, or whatever the case may be. Is that Nikki? Why she look like that? Is that gray hair? Did she got gray hair? Like, y'all are gonna look for anything to say. And then they're going to people say, oh my God, this Nikki, she started a podcast. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. I want to watch it. I want to share it. I definitely going to be there for every week, every episode to support. And and that's the thing about it, right? It's a balance. It's a balance of things. You're going to have people say negative things. You're going to have people say positive things. And guess what? There's going to be a people in the middle that ain't going to watch at all. They ain't going to want to support at all. And you just have to let them. Another book that I'm reading that I love, that I suggest, Mel Robbins, Let Them Theory. Go get it. So just basically the steps that helped me build my self-confidence for who I am as a woman, as a person, was making the time, okay? Reflecting in that time, whether it be 5 minutes during, like, the kids are just now done eating dinner, they're brushing teeth, something, I go outside, or I'll sit in silence just for 5 minutes in the bathroom, something to just be like, take some deep breaths. The most where I made the time for that was my journal. So whenever I made that 5 minutes for myself, it was to write in my journal. And in November is when I started last year. So November this year will be 1 full year that I've wrote in my journal consistently. So I'm very proud. And it really helped me get to that point, to see where I wanted to go. Where's my head at? What am I thinking? What are my dreams? What are my desires? And I always made my journal about me. I didn't put other people's names in my journal because it's my journal. I'm looking for myself. Who am I? Right? So you got to just learn how to give yourself that time and space no matter what's going on. Take that 5 minutes, because 5 minutes today is better than no minutes. I'm going to say that. You're going to get like, oh my gosh, she said that again. Yes. Okay? Because you need to hear this. Building self-confidence is another way that I was able to build my self-confidence is to speak love into myself. Let myself hear. Because what I would do is video logs, and I would talk to myself the same 2 days, the same time, those 2 days for that year. And I would check in with myself. What do we do this week? What do we want to do this upcoming week? And on those vlogs, I would talk about things that would happen with people's names, because that was just a check-in, and we were seeing how we respond to other people's, how they treated me and how I treated them and what my goals are and things like that. And it allowed me to get to know myself as a person without anybody else around. So it's definitely, it worked for me. I would suggest it. But if you don't want to be in front of the camera, figure out a way to do it. Journal. If you don't want to record it, I say document it, because you want to be able to look back. But in the beginning, it's going to feel weird. Okay, so if you want to start small by looking yourself in the mirror and talking to self, say your name. That's how I started. Looking in the mirror, one of the things, and telling myself, I love you. I love you. Because how many times do you look into your own eyes and say that, right? It's not possible unless you're looking in the mirror or you're looking in the phone. So take that time. So the second thing is to educate and plan. Okay, if you want to do something new, research what you want to do new. Plan the steps, the 1% steps, and make them attainable. You want to go ahead and I need to have this microphones. I need to have all microphones by the second week of September. I need to have my 2 drafts of my first 2 episodes. I need to have that done by this week. I'm going to do that on this date, whatever the case may be. Okay, let me research the 3 facts that I want to talk about and the topics. It's a lot of work, I'm telling you. I've been working on this podcast for almost a year. It wasn't, I decided Mel Robbins podcast, huge fan. She's the one who gave me the inspiration to do it. And I started listening to her in November. And December is when I started to feel like, oh my gosh, I feel like I could do this. And so that's what really gave me the idea. Okay, I've done all those other niches. I've done the videos. I've done the social media. And now I'm like, okay, let's try this podcasting, because guess what? Everybody got a podcast. Why can't I have a podcast, right? So I definitely didn't want the fear of the unknown, the fear of everyone's opinions, the fear of just, will this be a waste of time? I want to have fun with it. So I had to figure out ways to silence all those doubts and all those thoughts. And educating and planning and having, that community. I already started building the community before the podcast. This is in real time, building the community, finding people that want to improve their and elevate their lives for their future selves. And that's a beautiful thing. And as you surround yourself with people who align with those similar values that you're looking for, you're going to feel it inside, in that soul. Okay? Your mind, your body, you're going to tell the difference from being around someone who doesn't want those things to who does. And sometimes in the beginning, it's going to feel lonely, because it's going to take some time for you to first build that confidence to love yourself, in order to find other people who gravitate to you, who are looking for those same values and those same goals. So just know that taking the time for yourself, loving yourself, is that first step. Next is going ahead and educating yourself and planning strategically. There was something that I wrote here. Another way to kind of help with that was to take the fear of the unknown and flip it to excitement of the possibilities. Ooh, I love that. I love that. That's cute. That's cute. And I'm definitely, when I first said, I was like, oh my gosh, I love that. I freaking love that. And I was like, I got to write that in here, because it's the same thing. You have to focus, you have to shift your mindset to focus on positivity instead of doubts, right? And it was the metaphor I came up with that was, I have a book bag, and I want to go on the next chapter and the next mountain. I'm gonna climb the next mountain, right? And I'm like walking along, and I'm like filling my book bag up, but I'm filling them up with rocks. Rocks are like doubts, because they're heavy. And soon that book bag gets so heavy, I cannot even make it up the next step, the next hill, the next little, it's a mountain, but I can't even make it to the next step, because this book bag is weighing me back. I'm about to fall back. I'm about to fall and roll all the way back a chapter. I don't want that. I don't want that for you. I don't want that for me. So what I thought is, instead of doubts, fill it with positive hope, flowers of hope. Okay, if pick that beautiful flower and say, if this works out, if I get to that top of that mountain, I'm gonna see that beautiful sunrise. And put that flower in your backpack. If I get to the top of this mountain, I might be able to escape from the clouds, that were down there, that rainy clouds, whatever the case may be. Based on what you're trying to do, make it hopeful instead of doubting yourself, because you have to be your biggest cheerleader. And that's why you build that self-confidence, because you have to build up yourself so that you can climb that next mountain. Okay? And the last one that I wrote was, any decision is better than no decision at all, right? So even if you are like, okay, what if I make the wrong decision? Baby, you got to make a decision regardless, because nobody's going to make it for you. You waiting on this hero, because guess what? I heard they not coming. The hero's not coming. You are your own hero. And I'm not saying that the support is not there. There will be people to support you through this journey, whether it be a lot of doubt or you have full confidence. There will be people to support you. But nobody's going to take it and do it for you. It's not going to be handed to you. You have to do the work. So instead of sitting and thinking, okay, I'm making the wrong decision, why don't you start to focus on the growth? Accept the uncertainty and embrace the imperfection, because perfection is a myth. You have to show up and be your true, authentic self. You have to be true to yourself. So when you're trying to figure it out, setting a time limit, so that you can avoid endlessly analyzing, what if I make the wrong decision? You have to, and it goes back to strategically educating yourself and planning. Lay out the steps. Okay, because you're not just gonna wake up and say, oh, okay, this is everything I gotta do. With everything that's going on, something's gonna be thrown in there and it's gonna scatter everything. So have your stuff. I have so many books. Okay, because I like to physically write down things. But in my phone, I have a ton of note apps. I have a ton of alarms. I use my calendar. Matter of fact, I have calendars everywhere. I have a dry erase calendar. I have a regular calendar right next to it. I have my quarterly calendar. I have my bill list. Like, I have a calendar downstairs. I I got a calendar on the phone. I have so many calendars because I want to do it right this time. I want to focus on the time that I am given every day and make it count. And I know you do too, because if you didn't, you wouldn't be watching this episode. The episode is called 3 Ways to Kill Procrastination. Okay, so that's what we doing. We trying to figure out how to kill that procrastination so we could get to the next chapter in our life, to where we want to be. And I'm going to tell you right now, your future self is going to thank you for taking the time to invest in y'all future. So that's beautiful. So congratulations on that. Absolutely. And just that was, so we went over the 3 things. Okay, I even did a whole little so why it's hard to start something new. We talked about it. Fear of what others will say and think, fear of the unknown, okay, and fear of making the wrong decision. But the way to help silence those and overcome those fears: 1, build self-confidence; 2, refocus that mindset; and 3, accept uncertainties and embrace imperfection. Okay, because I'm gonna tell you something. The only way to learn is to do. Okay, you think, okay, I'll wait till this time to start something because then I'll be ready. You'll be waiting forever. It's no ready. It's just do it. It's just do it. Learn from your mistakes. You will not fail if you keep trying. And that's what it's all about. Make that effort. Keep trying. Okay? And I know you can do it. Because here I am a whole year later looking back in awe, watching those videos that I made in complete awe and gratitude. It's overwhelming how far I've come within just a year. So if I could do it, you can do it, and I know you can. And with these episodes, I'm going to tell you right now, and you say people call it self-help. I call it self-improvement. Because we're all just trying to improve. We're all just trying to live. We're all just trying to get to the next chapter of our lives. And when you can find a community, a specific person, a podcast, a book, like a club, anything like that, any kind of outlet to help you get to that next step, I would definitely explore that. And it's not going to happen overnight. So remember, consistency is key. With that being said, consistency looks different every day. I'm not saying show up the same way every day, but show up, right? I know you can. You showed up at that line at Chick-fil-A. You showed up at that store when they was dropping a new iPhone, which iPhone 19. Are we on iPhone 19? Give me a break. Gosh darn. You was invested. You was invested in that new Wicked movie coming out. Right? You could show up for that. Show up for yourself. Okay, I challenge you to show up for yourself. Do something that you want to do. It's going to be hard. Okay? But I've said this before. If it's not difficult, is it worth it? Right? When you playing those games online, or I'm out of it. I haven't played games in a long time. But if you're playing those games and you pass an easy level, how do you feel? You're like, that was easy. I could do that again. I bet you're not going to keep playing that game over and over again because it's going to get boring. You need that challenge. As human beings, we need to be challenged. This is just the world we live in. There's challenges everywhere. And so when you find people to challenge you and challenge one another, that is a beautiful thing. And I'm loving this year of the challenges. And it just recently started earlier in 2025, not when the journey started. So probably maybe around June, July, not even early, mid 2025, the challenges started. And so I was just like, oh my gosh, I love it. I love it. I love it. So I know you can do it. I want you to start small. And that's the challenge for you today. Is start small. Because some people don't even know if they want to start something new. They might have that urge to feel like, I want to change, but I don't know what it is. Well, challenge yourself to take that time to get to know what it is that you desire for that next step. Okay? And I'm going to tell you what, I'm going to be here every week. And we're going to talk about the things that matter, stuff that helps us get to that next chapter, the challenges, the obstacles, just the, oh my god, excuse me, the real life relatableness. That's what I want to bring to it. And I'm finally feel like I'm ready to do it. And I want you to join me and join me on this journey. Join me on this journey, because life is about experimenting to find out if that's even what you want to do. Okay? This is an experiment. I'm going to try this podcast out, and I have a time frame of how I'm going to try it, how consistent I'm going to be. And I hope that you join me for the journey, because I'm telling you, I'm excited. And I want to thank you, thank you, thank you. And you know how you can support me? You can like, you can subscribe, you can comment, and engage in those comments. Give me tips, give our listeners tips on what works for you, because that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to connect people all around the world. I'm trying to build a community, and I'm starting here because I want to learn from here. So while you look and you say, oh, look at her background, or look at how she look at how she talk, what she's saying, like, critique it how you want. I love constructive criticism because it helps me grow, and I'm all about that self-growth. I've always have been, just didn't know I was missing that inner confidence to find out who I was. So now is better than never. Start somewhere. Just do it, baby. And I just want to say, I was trying to make this episode 30 minutes. But we clearly ran over because it's a good topic. It's a lot to talk about. And like I said, I love to talk. So I hope you come and join me again. I thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you for listening. And I'm going to catch you later.